much needed video, but as far as relationships go, you know, people have been through a lot of trauma, both men and women, and they never really addressed it or had an outlet to exercise that energy properly. So, they go into these relationship wrecks, and depreciate together, unfortunately. Um, Sometimes they add to, you have relationships that, of course, because that's the point. You know, you you progress each other, you add to your value as opposed to depreciating. Um, but yeah, because see, the real gist of it is it goes back to the trauma in that people cannot be honest because they want to remain possessive, husband wife. And if you look back the history of husbandry, always favoring the patriarchy and the man, who of course always wants to have multiple women and multiple wives, which really comes from a wounded masculine aspect of wanting to please the feminine that he couldn't please, which was originally his mother. So when you think about it in the true reality and the true sense of what it is, it's like unfortunately most men are just walking around here just projecting and just trying to compensate for lack through pseudo dominance instead of real dominance, because real dominance is not just, oh, I'm dominating these women or whatever they think they're doing, emotionally manipulating whatever their marriage is. But I'm not here to talk down. I'm here to educate. So yeah, most men, they're selfish, and they can't fathom being poly. They can't fathom sharing someone because they they're over infatuated with the idea of continuing the facade of ownership of people, the same way they do property. It's the same thing. That's what husbandry is. Um, when real marriage is union, and you work with each other so that there's no holding back. There's never any holding each other back, or being the assumption of being in control of another's actions. Real true trust isn't just what's said on paper legally or the lies we tell each other. Trust is, there's proof. There's always proof in trust. You can always prove what's real because what's real is always there. It doesn't need to be shown. It just is. You don't need to explain your love to someone, or have a definition of it. um yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, but yeah, people are just wounded and running around here just hurting people, whether they're poly or monogamous, especially monogamous. um and creating these, they're colonizers, they're self-colonizers. That's the first colonizer, is the self, the family. You compromise your colon, and then you get these thoughts that aren't yours, these demons, parasites, and then they hijack your true consciousness, your God consciousness connection to the divine, and then they push you into further fragmentation to further replicate themselves and continue on the trauma. So yeah, man, I think that people should really try to take that into consideration when it comes to relationships, and before they hurt themselves and other people, which is really themselves. So we'll have more videos, man. Guidance, love, wisdom, truth, prosperity, and abundance.